Hey, Sonny here. Today I want to show you how to play a song called Let It Go by Def Leppard. And it's the first track from the High and Dry album. And I will show you the main riff and the verse, and we'll break it down. Okay, the main riff is repeats itself over and over. So let me show you how it goes. Just you play the open A string, third fret on the A, and back to A open A string. And you play the fourth fret of D and G together. You bend up about quarter step, and then you play the second fret of D and G. And you do the same thing again. Open A, third fret on the A, and back to open A. And then the fourth fret of D and G, bend up quarter, and then open D and G together. The first time when you finish playing that, you'll play the C chord, C power chord, and D power chord. And then you'll repeat it again. So that part right there, I'm going to play the open A string, third and second fret of A, open A again, and E3, and then D chord. So the D chord is actually open D string, second fret of G, and third fret of B. So that's the main riff. On the last time, the main riff, it ends on the A chord, so you'll A power chord. You kind of turn your volume down and carry on like 4 measure, and then on the very last beat of the 4th measure, you go, which is 5th fret of D and G. It goes to measure at the end of this next measure. You go, which is a G chord at the middle position. So we have D5 and G7. And then you do it, wait another measure, you go. And this time we're playing the 7th fret of D and G. And then back to A. Now the next time there's a variation of that, you play the A chord. And then you palm mute on the A string 5 times. You do the 5th fret of D and G. That's basically the a C chord, a C power chord, the second half of it. You do the 5 times again and palm mute on the A string, G. So that's D5 and G7, and 5 times again palm mute on the A string. 7th fret of D and G. Okay. You go twice on the A string, 3-2 on the A, and open A string, and A chord again. So far we have this. So before we repeat the main riff again, you play the 3-2 open A string. I'm sorry, you play the open A string first twice, 3 and 2 on the A string, and then open A string again twice. So the ending goes like this again. Actually, when you play the chorus, one thing I forgot is that I just played a D chord, but the first time you repeat the main riff in the chorus, you don't play the D chord. You only play the D note. I'm sorry, you play the A note on the G string, 2nd fret of G. So it goes like this. Second fret of G. Okay, the first solo goes like this. Okay, so that's a really cool riff. That's one of my favorite part of the song. Anyway, the solo goes like this. You play the 15th fret on the B string. Basically, we're playing surrounded around the E minor pentatonic scale, the 12th position. So that's the pentatonic scale. So we start from the 15th fret on the B string. You bend up full step. Basically, you bend from 15 to 17 fret. And while you bend it up, you play the 15th fret of E string with your pinky. Play the 15th fret again, bend it down. 14th fret on the G string, and 13th fret on the B string. Slide down. Next phrase, 15th fret on the high E string, bend up, full step. Basically, you bend from 15th fret to 17th fret. And then you play normal, not bending, on the 15th fret and 12th fret on the E string, and the 15th fret on the B string, bend up, full step, and use your pinky and play the 15th fret on the E string, and then 13th fret on the B string, 14th on the G, slide down. So the whole thing, so the little solo slow down goes like this. Next phrase. So this is like an A natural minor scale. Kind of pentatonic scale kind of thing. So anyway, you start from 7th fret on the G string. You bend up. You bend up full step from 7 to 9, and then you play the 5th fret of B string and then E string. And then I used my ring finger, play the 18th fret on the B string, bend up full step. Basically bend up from 8 to 10. And play the 10th fret on the E string with your pinky. Play the 10th fret again, play the 8th fret again on the B string, release. 5th fret on the B, 7 on the G, bend up full step, and play the 8th fret with your pinky on the B string, and then play the 7th fret and 5. So after you play the 8th fret, play the 7th fret again, release, pull off on 5th fret on the G, 7th fret on the D, 5th fret on the G, and finish on the 4th fret. So the whole lick goes like this. And the next part, you play power chord. You play a D power chord at the 5th position, and then you play the F power chord at the 8th position. Again. And after you play that, you play the while your finger's still on the F power chord, you will play just the 10th fret of D, G, and B string. Your ring finger is already on it, so you just play those 3 notes and slap the 12th fret. And then you use your pinky, play the 13th fret and pull off on 12th fret on the B string. And then you play arpeggiate on the 12th fret on G and D. And then you switch hand into like a D minor chord position. You will play the 10th fret of B, G11, and then D12. So far we have this. You do the same thing again, a D power chord, C, and then one more time C, and quickly play 5-3-5 on the A. 5-3-5, and then 3rd fret on the D, 2nd fret on the D, 3rd fret on the A string, and 3rd on the E string. So the last part, I'm sorry, whole thing again. So that's the cool riff from Let It Go. Alright, so after you finish playing it, after you play it twice, and it does it goes to like a clean sound, and it plays this right here. It goes, the clean part goes like this. So what I'm doing is the first part I'll play like a D minor chord, but I'm playing just the open D string, 2nd fret of G, and 1st fret on the E. And you hold it for 1/8 of a beat, and then you lift your index finger up, you play open E, and then 3 on the B string, G2, and back to B3. So that's the first measure. Second measure goes like this. So what I'm doing is I play like a D chord, open G, open D, G2, and B3, and pick the 2nd fret on G again, pull off an open string quickly, and then you play G3, B3, open E, B3 again. So it's like a B flat sus chord. So the 2 measures put together goes like this. Next measure is all D sus2 or D2 chord. So you play the open D string, 2nd fret of G, 3rd fret of B, and open E string. And the pattern goes like this. Again, there's D string, G string, open high E string, B3, high E again, B3, G2, B3. So that measure goes like this again. And the last measure goes like this. So it's still a D sus2, but the pattern's a little different. So you play open open D string, second fret of G, B3, play the G2 again, pull off on open G string, and then you play the D sus chord, open D, G2, high E open, B3. So the whole measure goes like this, all four measures together. Repeat that twice, and then after you finish repeating twice, you play that cool riff again. You play that twice, and then the second solo starts. Okay, the second solo is start with again you playing the E minor pentatonic scale. You start on the 15th fret of B string. You bend it up. You can do a tremolo picking while you bend up. And you really spread down, you bend it up again. Pull off the 13th fret, and then you play the 14th fret of G. And then you play 14th fret of G again, 13th B, and 15th fret on the E. So far we have this. Okay, the next part of the solo goes like this. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'll play the 15th fret of E string, bend up full step, and 15 and 12 on the E, and 15 on the B, bend up full step. And quickly you play 15th fret on the E and 15th fret on the B string, bend up. You do it 3 times, and that's it. Okay, next phrase of the solo goes like this. Okay, so the lick goes like this. You start from the 7th fret of G string, you bend it up, full step, and you play the 8th fret on the B string. Actually, you do that twice, and the third time, so what I'm doing is I'll slide up the 12th fret and play the 10th fret on the B string. So it's 12th fret on the G, and then 10th fret on the B. You play 12th fret again on the G string, bend up full step, and 10th fret on the B string, hammer on, pull on the 13th fret. 12th fret again, bend up, 10 again on the B, hammer on, pull on the 13, 12 again on the G, and then 10 and 13 on the B, 13 again on the B, bend up full step, and the 10th fret on the B string, slide from 10 to 8, and then play the 9th fret. Play the 9th fret on the G string, slide down, and then you play. I'm gonna play the whole solo for you one time. Let's go like this. And then you play this. So I'm going to play the B power chord, 5th fret on the D power chord, and an open A power chord, and then you play second fret on the A string, and then B power chord. We go 4 times on the B chord. So again. Okay, then the next phrase goes like this. That's all it is. I play 7 fret of G and B together, and then G7, D9, back to G7, and then 9 fret on the G bent up full step, and then 7 and 7 on the B and E string, 10 fret on the B, bent up full step. So the whole thing goes like this. Okay, the last phrase of the solo goes like this. Okay, so what I'm doing is I play the 19th fret on the E string and play a 22nd fret on the B string, bent up full step. And repeat that 4 times. You play 19th fret again, and then 22nd fret on the E string, and you play the 22nd fret without bending. So far with this. Next part. So what I'm doing is I play the 19th fret on the E string, hammer on and pull off on 22nd fret, 22nd fret on the B, 19 on the E, and the 21st on the G string, bend up full step, and play the 22nd fret on the B string, and you play the 21st fret again on the G string, pull off on 19th fret, and 21st fret on the D string. So the whole thing, slowly. So that's the whole solo. Alright, so after the solo, that's what you play. Just like the verse I showed you earlier, just the rhythm slightly different, but the chords is the same. So you have the A chord, you have the fifth, you have the C chord of the 5th position. So you're playing D5 and G5 together. You got a G chord, which is D5 and G7, and then you have a D chord, which is D7 and G7. Alright, so the pattern is this: you got to play the A chord before the measures start, 1/8 beat before the measures start. So it goes like this. Okay, so again you play the A chord, you downstroke open A 7 times, C, you downstroke 7 times again, G, downstroke 7 times again, and then you play this D chord, which is the just a 2-note, D7 and G7, and then you let it rain out, and the last 1/8 beat of the measure, you do it again on the A chord. Alright, so the second time you play it is exactly the same, except instead of let the D chord rain out the entire measure, you let it rain out half measure, and you play it. That's 3/2 open A string, and you play the A chord. Now after you play, and then you'll play the same chords again, but the rhythm again this time changes to this right here. It's the exact same chords. The only thing you play is play the open A string instead of palm mute, and you gotta have the syncopate a little bit go. So you kind of play the first two notes together, open A string, and then one more time by itself, and they play the open A again, and they play the chord right after that. So the whole thing goes like this. It goes to the chorus right there. Okay, now so when you play the chorus again, and we are close to the end of the song. At the end of the chorus, you'll play this part right here. It goes like this. So the part, what I'm doing is I play just the single note on 3, 2, and open on the A string, 3rd fret on the E, and then D chord. And after that, there's a little outro solo, goes something like that. So what I'm doing is I play the 7th fret on the D string twice, and then 7th fret of G and B, and 5th fret of G and B, and back to 7th fret of D and open 7th fret of D string twice, and you play the 5th fret of D, G and B together twice, and then 7th fret of D string twice, and 7th fret of G and B, 5th fret of G and B, and then D string 7th fret twice, and then next part is 5th fret of G and B twice, and then D string 7th fret twice, and then 5th fret on the G and B twice, and then 7/5 on D. Next part is 7, 6, 5, and 3 on the A string. 5, 3, open A string, and then 3rd fret on the E string. Okay, and after you play it does something like, all I'm doing is I'll play the, I'll go downstroke, I'll play the 5th fret on the A string, and pull off to 3rd fret, and pull off on open string. If you play fast out and kind of mute it a little bit, it sounds like it. How I do that is I kind of lightly mute the string like I do with the palm mute, open string, but this time just kind of pull off. Slightly mute. It ends on the 5th fret on the A string, and then you play. And that ends the song. Basically, you play the 7th fret of G, 8th fret of B, and you bend the 7th fret of G up full step. And that's the pretty much the whole song for Let It Go.